Welcome back to the channel USD Coins, where we dive deep into the fascinating world of rare coins and hidden treasures. Today, we're unlocking the mystery and magic behind one of the most intriguing coins in American history, the 1974 Liberty 1-cent coin. What seems like an ordinary penny has turned into a legend among collectors, with stories of specimens worth hundreds, thousands, and even claims of a jaw-dropping $250 million valuation. Is it true? How did this coin become so iconic, and why are collectors desperately searching for it across the globe? Buckle up, because we are about to take you on an extraordinary journey through history, mystery, and the thrilling world of rare coin collecting. A glimpse into the past, the origins of the 1974 Liberty 1-cent coin. Let's rewind the clock to 1974. America was in a period of change. The Vietnam War was coming to an end. Inflation was rising, and the economy was tightening. The U.S. Mint faced a critical challenge: the rising price of copper. Pennies had traditionally been made from 95% copper and 5% zinc, but by the early 1970s, the metal content of each coin was approaching and sometimes exceeding its face value. The government knew it had to act fast. In response, the U.S. Mint began experimenting with alternative metals. This led to the creation of several 1974 Lincoln cents struck in aluminum, an incredibly light, silvery-colored metal that could reduce minting costs significantly. While over 1 million of these experimental aluminum pennies were produced at the Philadelphia Mint, nearly all were recalled and destroyed. Only a handful are rumored to have survived, with just a few examples surfacing in private collections or through legal controversies. But the intrigue doesn't end there. While most collectors focus on the famous aluminum versions, the standard copper 1974 Lincoln cents, bearing the iconic image of President Abraham Lincoln on the obverse and the Lincoln Memorial on the reverse, also have their own special stories. Some of these coins are hiding in plain sight, and a few are believed to be worth an astonishing amount of money. What makes the 1974 penny so special? Why all the hype around a 1974 penny? What could possibly make this 1-cent coin worth more than a luxury mansion, more than a yacht, more than some small businesses? Let's break it down. First, the experimental aluminum versions are ultra-rare. The government tried to eliminate all of them, but a few escaped into the wild. The rarity alone drives the price sky high. These coins have been the subject of intense legal battles, with the U.S. Mint even demanding their return in some cases. Second, even among the regular copper coins, there are varieties and errors that collectors obsess over. Double dies, off-center strikes, die cracks, and transitional metal errors can turn an ordinary-looking coin into a jackpot find. Third, condition matters. A 1974 penny in uncirculated condition with a brilliant red luster, known in grading terms as MS67RD or higher, is a true gem that can command significant premiums at auctions. And finally, stories have emerged, though often wrapped in controversy, that a single 1974 aluminum cent might have been privately sold or valued at an astronomical $250 million. While this figure is often debated and not confirmed by official auction records, the buzz it has generated among collectors is undeniable. Whether myth or reality, this valuation has sent a tidal wave through the numismatic community, igniting a treasure hunt unlike anything we've seen before. The design and composition of the coin. The 1974 Liberty 1-cent coin features a timeless design that has become iconic in American culture. On the obverse side, we have the proud profile of President Abraham Lincoln, designed by Victor David Brenner. This portrait has been in use since 1909, commemorating Lincoln's 100th birthday, and it remains a symbol of American resilience and leadership. To the left of Lincoln's portrait is the word liberty, a defining value of the United States. Above his head reads, "In God We Trust," and to the right is the date 1974, with a mint mark below. If the coin was produced in Denver, D. or San Francisco, no mint mark means it was minted in Philadelphia. The reverse side showcases the Lincoln Memorial, complete with tiny details that reveal even the statue of Lincoln inside the building. Above it are the words United States of America, and below, the denomination 1 cent. Most 1974 pennies were struck in copper. But as we've discussed, a few were struck in aluminum, making them visually and physically distinct. Mint marks and rarity. In 1974, pennies were produced at 3 main U.S. mints: Philadelphia, no mint mark; Denver, D. The rare aluminum cents were only minted in Philadelphia, which means they lack a mint mark. However, stories exist almost mythical in nature about other mints possibly producing aluminum cents or experimental varieties. If such a coin ever appeared with a D or S mint mark and in aluminum, its value could easily skyrocket into the tens or hundreds of millions. Even the copper versions from Denver and San Francisco are valuable when found in high grades. Coins graded MS66 or higher by top grading companies like PCGS or NGC can fetch hundreds to thousands of dollars, especially if they have no signs of wear and feature a bright red luster. Market value and record sales. Let's talk money. Most circulated 1974 pennies are worth face value just 1 cent. However, when you start looking at mint state coins, error coins, and ultra-rare varieties, the value climbs rapidly. A 1974 D penny in MS67 red has sold for over $3,000. A 1974 S proof coin, particularly in perfect condition, can bring in several $100s. A 1974 penny with dramatic double die errors has sold for over $10,000, and, of course, the legendary 1974 aluminum cent has been valued by some private collectors and experts at $250 million, although this figure is speculative and unconfirmed by public auctions. Why such a massive number? It all comes down to rarity, controversy, and collector passion. Only 1 or 2 of these coins may still exist in private hands. They are virtually impossible to obtain, and legal ownership is questionable since the US government never officially authorized their release. That kind of mystique can drive values into the stratosphere. How to identify and sell a valuable 1974 penny? If you think you found a valuable 1974 penny, here's what you should do. Inspect the coin closely. Look for unusual coloration, especially silver-colored aluminum. Check for errors. Examine the coin under magnification for doubling, off-center strikes, or die breaks. Check the weight. Copper cents weigh about 3.11 grams, while aluminum cents weigh just 0.93 grams. Get it graded. Send your coin to a trusted grading service like PCGS or NGC. Consult a professional. Contact a numismatic expert or coin dealer to help determine value. If you truly believe you found an aluminum cent, be careful. Contact a lawyer and the appropriate authorities, because the US Mint may still consider these coins as government property. The 1974 Liberty 1 cent coin is far more than a humble penny. It's a piece of American history, a symbol of economic change, and possibly one of the rarest coins to ever exist. From a regular copper coin worth a few cents to a legendary aluminum specimen rumored to be worth $250 million, the 1974 penny has become a beacon for collectors and treasure hunters alike. So the next time you get change at the store or check your old coin jar, take a closer look. You never know, you might be holding a fortune in your hand. If you enjoyed this deep dive into coin history and value, make sure to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and hit the notification bell so you never miss another treasure hunting adventure. Leave a comment if you think you found a rare coin or want me to cover another amazing piece of currency history. Thanks for watching, and remember, in coins we trust. Today we're diving deep into the incredible world of rare and valuable coins. If you're a collector, a history lover, or someone who just might have a hidden treasure in your pocket change, then stay with us, because today we're talking about one of the most fascinating coins in American numismatic history, the 1982 Liberty 1 cent coin. Yes, you heard that right. The humble 1 cent coin from 1982, a coin that millions of Americans spent without a second thought could be worth a small fortune today. In fact, rare versions of this coin have been valued by collectors and dealers at staggering amounts, with some estimates suggesting that the market for the rarest of these coins could be worth up to $200 million. But how could a penny, yes, just 1 cent, become a multi-million-dollar collectible? To answer that, we need to explore the fascinating history behind the 1982 Liberty 1 cent coin, the changes it underwent, the varieties that exist, and why coin collectors around the world are still hunting for the most valuable versions. Let's start at the beginning. The Liberty 1 cent coin, more commonly known as the Lincoln cent, was first introduced in 1909 to honor the 100th anniversary of Abraham Lincoln's birth. It replaced the Indian head penny and became the first U.S. coin to feature a real historical figure. Since then, it has remained in continuous production, becoming a staple of American currency. Fast forward to 1982, a year that would become one of the most complicated and fascinating in Lincoln cent history. In that year, the United States Mint made a major decision. Due to the rising cost of copper, it was becoming too expensive to keep minting pennies in their traditional composition. Until then, Lincoln cents were made of 95% copper and 5% zinc, but copper prices soared. The cost of making a penny exceeded its face value. So, in 1982, the Mint began transitioning the composition of the 1-cent coin to a new formula, a core of 99.2% zinc with just 0.8% copper plating. This switch didn't happen all at once. It happened over the course of the year, which led to something extraordinary. 2 different metal compositions were used for the same coin in the same year, and that's not all. The U.S. Mint also introduced small design changes in the font of the date, resulting in what collectors now refer to as the small date and large date varieties. That's right, 1982 saw 7 different varieties of the Liberty 1-cent coin. Let's break it down. 1982 large date copper, 1982 small date copper, 1982 large date zinc, 1982 small date zinc, 1982 D large date copper, 1982 D large date zinc, 1982 D small date zinc. That's 7 distinct versions of the same coin, each with its own rarity, its own weight, and its own market value. But among these, one stands out as the Holy Grail, the 1982 D small date made of copper. This coin was not supposed to exist. All Denver Mint coins with the small date were thought to be zinc. Yet in 2016, a copper version was discovered, an incredibly rare minting error. Only a few have ever been found. And because of its rarity and historical mystery, this coin has been valued by collectors and experts at astronomical figures, well over $100,000 in perfect condition, and some estimate that if a flawless version appeared today, it could easily fetch $1 million or more at auction. This has led experts to believe that there could be a handful of other undiscovered examples out there in drawers, piggy banks, or even in circulation. The total market potential for the rare 1982 D copper small date coins, including possible unreported finds, could climb to as high as $200 million, if the full scope of surviving specimens ever surfaces. Imagine that a coin once worth just 1 cent, now part of a massive multi-million-dollar treasure hunt. So, how can you tell if you've struck gold or copper? In this case, here's what you need to look for. First, check the date. Is it a 1982 D? Does it have a small date design? Second, weigh the coin. Copper cents weigh 3.11 grams, while zinc cents weigh only 2.5 grams. Use a precise digital scale. If you have a 1982 D small date that weighs 3.11 grams, you might just be holding $1 million coin. Over the years, 1982 pennies have been hot items at coin shows and auctions. Some versions in high-grade mint state condition have sold for thousands of dollars. Even common varieties, if they are in pristine uncirculated condition or feature a strong die strike, can bring in impressive amounts. For example, a 1982 large date copper cent graded MS67 RD by PCGS sold for over $1,500. A 1982 D large date zinc cent in MS68 RD condition fetched over $2,000. And one 1982 D small date copper cent, the legendary rarity, sold privately for over $18,000, with speculation that a perfect specimen could top $250,000 in a public auction. But as the search continues and more rare examples are discovered, total values could surge. In fact, some collectors and dealers believe that the combined value of all existing 1982 D small date copper cents could be worth over $200 million, once verified and certified. So, what does this mean for you? It means there's a real chance that someone, somewhere, could have a life-changing coin sitting unnoticed in a change jar, tucked away in an old wallet, or lying at the bottom of a drawer. It means that you don't have to spend a fortune to become a treasure hunter. All you need is a little knowledge, a sharp eye, and maybe a simple scale to weigh your coins, and who knows, maybe the next rare 1982 D small date copper penny is sitting in your pocket right now. If you enjoyed this deep dive into the 1982 Liberty 1-cent coin, don't forget to like this video, subscribe to our channel, and hit that bell icon so you never miss out on more incredible coin stories and numismatic treasures. Drop a comment below and let us know, have you checked your 1982 pennies yet? Do you think you could be holding a piece of history worth hundreds of thousands, or even millions? Thanks for watching, and remember, every penny has a story, and some of them are worth far more than just 1 cent. Until next time, happy hunting.